everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing okay. It's been a hot minute. It has, and my nails have grown out. But I thought we would do a long-ish video and I can finally chat to you about where the hell I've been for like 2 weeks now. It's just gone really, really quickly, to be honest, because there's just been so much going on. So I'll start off from the very beginning. So we went to a theme park, a local theme park. I live in Staffordshire in England, and we went to Alton Towers, which is in Alton in Staffordshire. It's literally like on my doorstep, 30-minute drive. So my daughter has a lot of health problems, and a charity that we are in contact with do a few little bits and pieces like days out and stuff, and they were like, do you want to go to Alton Towers? And we're like, yeah. So they paid for all of us to go, and it was fantastic. It was a really, really good day out. We don't get to do things like that very often, mainly because the queues are unbelievably long. And I didn't realise until we got there, but they paid for like fast track passes, so we didn't have to queue up. We just got straight on the rides, which was fantastic. I don't do roller coasters. The rest of my family does. Ryan and the girls, they're mad for it. So I was like, you know what, it's time for me to be brave. Let's do some roller coasters. So I did 3 roller coasters, and when I got home I was exhausted. So was my daughter. We came back a little bit earlier than closing time because of how tired we were. But it got to the end of the night. Ryan was like, I'm gonna go and do dinner. You look very sore. I'll go and sort it. I was like, yes, I am in agony. When I woke up on the Monday, my ribs were so painful. My legs, my arms, like everything, it just felt like I'd been hit by a bus, and I was like, oh, went on a roller coaster. I exerted myself far too much. I'm heading into a fibro flare-up. That is when I messaged you guys. I don't know if it was public or members, and I was like, you know what, I physically cannot do any videos for today. I'm just in too much pain, really struggling to walk, really struggling to move. You're all amazing, by the way, absolutely amazing. So then it got to Tuesday and we had a couple of appointments to go to. First thing in the morning, we did them. I got home and I just collapsed, not literally, but I sat on the sofa and within 2 minutes I was asleep. And I don't know why, because I didn't feel tired, but I was just exhausted, like drained physically. So then by the end of Tuesday, I was in bed. I was sleeping constantly. I was having like delirious fever things. And Ryan was getting really concerned. So then Wednesday, Thursday and Friday were a complete blur. Cannot remember any of those days, apart from Friday actually, sorry. I could only get a little bit of relief if I went for a bath. So Ryan had to help me in the bath, out of the bath, and I had to keep topping it up with hot water. That was the only time I was getting any kind of relief from the pain. I was taking all my medication plus more. I shouldn't have, but needed be. And then Ryan phoned our doctors and they were like, can someone come out? And they said, no, we can't because she's not housebound. And he was like, well, she currently is, like she's that ill, she's housebound. So a doctor ended up phoning me. I explained everything as best as I could in my delirious fugue state. And we ended up having to go to the GP first thing on the Friday morning. And basically he said that what has started off as a water infection, a UTI, has then spread to my kidneys, both kidneys, and it's just going to tear through me basically, and I just need to go home, do not move, drink plenty, go to the toilet a lot, try and flush out your system. Gave me these super strong antibiotics, told me to take pain relief as much as possible, and just don't do anything. And I was like, I'm not doing anything because I can't physically do anything. So then on, I think it was, it started the antibiotics on the Friday. Saturday morning, I started to be a little bit more awake, like with a day's worth of antibiotics in my system. I could feel that they were kicking in. I ended up showing my face downstairs for the first time in nearly a week, and I thought I was on the mend. And then my sister phoned me, and it was my dad, sorry. And no, he actually phoned Ryan because my mum and dad knew how ill I was. So my dad phoned Ryan, and my mum had another stroke. So they were on the way by ambulance to the hospital, and this was the 3rd stroke she's had, maybe the 4th. We're just not sure if she's had an extra one that we kind of feel like she has, but we don't think that the doctors picked up on it as much as we did. So if you've been here for a while, my mum was on the go constantly. She'd wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, she'd do all of her housework, do all of her shopping, and then go to work and do all of everyone else's cleaning, and then come back and do it all over again. More housework at home and jobs for the neighbours, and go and look after her elderly neighbours and stuff. She was constantly on the go, baking, cooking, you name it. And she was having a bit of trouble with blood pressure. Her blood pressure was quite high, and we were like, Mum, you've got to chill out a little bit. You're in your 60s, you just got to slow down a little bit, and hopefully your blood pressure will calm down. And she was going for these regular checkups every week with her GP. And the one time, it was a different doctor, and he was like, I just want to send you for a few checks. I'm just going to send you for an ECG, just to be on the safe side, you know? So if it wasn't for that random doctor that she accidentally got that day, we wouldn't have then found out that the ECG, all of the heart scans that she had done, her heart was on its last legs, essentially. She had an aneurysm waiting to burst, and so within a couple of weeks they were like, right, you're booked in. But this was during like COVID, it was like 2020 or 2021, and it was Christmas. So yeah, we found out in like November when we were in lockdown and we couldn't see each other. And then she was booked in and she went into hospital. She'd had COVID like a month before, and the COVID results at the hospital were still coming back positive, so they had to send her home. And then 2 weeks later they got back in, did the operation, where they did open heart surgery and fixed everything, you know. She had a new valve, she had a pig valve, and within 4 weeks of that major operation, she was near enough back to her normal self. She was doing housework again, she was baking again, she was going into town doing all of her shopping, like walking everywhere again, and we were so impressed. And she was like, I've still got to do a little bit more surgery, still got a little bit more surgery left to have. And that was like 6 months later after the open heart. They didn't want to do them too close together. So the next lot of surgery was to have a bypass done. So her arteries were a little bit clogged, and they wanted to do a graft from her heart and do new pipe work, essentially. Do a little bypass so that the blood can flow properly. So she had that done, and since she had that 3 years ago, it's just been an absolute nightmare, a literal nightmare. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It was definitely during COVID, it's got to have been. But within 2 weeks of having that last surgery, she got pneumonia and she had a stroke. And then about a month later, she had another stroke. And obviously, she's had another stroke. But when she went into hospital this time, they said, you've got an infection on your heart as well. So they started treating for endocarditis, which is the one thing that I was really worried about. Thankfully, it didn't turn out to be that, but they still treated her for it. She was on IV antibiotics, and she came home 6 days later. I brought her home myself, and now she's got to go back on tomorrow. She's got 2 appointments tomorrow, actually. 2 different hospitals as well, so a lot of travelling. She's got to go and have like a memory test and a speech test and this, that and the other, like movement and everything, and more blood's done because when she left the hospital last week, the bloods came back that she's basically going into renal failure, kidneys, and it's just been an absolute nightmare, serious nightmare. So between that and myself, it's, yeah, as you can tell, it has been very, very, very stressful. I haven't had any time or any energy to do anything. Even like I managed to see my mum twice in hospital, but I couldn't stay for long, like half an hour before I had to leave. And just the fever was something else. And even a week on antibiotics, the doctor was like, you're not going to feel yourself for another 2 weeks. You're going to have really low energy. You're going to have low appetite, this, that and the other. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll bounce back. It's all good. But I don't know whether that also like on top of a fibro flare a little bit, but you know when your body, it just gives up. It was like that. But then when my mum had a stroke, it was like it had an extra oomph about it. It wanted to fight a little bit. So me going to visit my mum in hospital was the fight, but then as soon as I got home, it was like, yeah, you can stop now. And it just shut down again. And I was like, oh, just when I thought I was getting better, something else happened, sort of thing. So, but hopefully we'll have some more results from my mum tomorrow. I just hope the blood's come back okay. The infection's gone on her heart and her kidneys aren't in renal failure. Hopefully it was just like a temporary thing. But yeah, so that has been the last 2 weeks of my life. I've had to cancel so many orders, and it's just been crazy. So I thought today we would do a bit of a longer video, basically to talk to you about what has been going on, because I don't want to leave you in the lurch, and I don't want you, I feel like I'm letting you down, sort of thing. I really do. Even though I'm ill and I can't help it, I feel really bad that I'm letting you guys down. So I wanted to do a little bit of a longer video, so it's a little bit more in depth. And I found this design on Pinterest. I really can't remember. I've had so much brain fog as well since it's really fried my brain, the fever has or something. But I found this picture, this design on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest or something, and it was really, really cute. So I thought I would do something very similar. So the original picture that I found, I'll see if I've got it. Yes, it was on Pinterest. So it's quite like a pale nude matte kind of finish to it. But I absolutely thought it was adorable. It was so cute, and there was a lot of like detail in there. And I wanted to hand paint everything rather than use like stamping stuff and whatnot, because I thought they're quite simple if we break them down. Really disappointed about my little pumpkins. I don't think they look the best. More like basketballs, multicoloured basketballs, but they're good. So we used New Delight, and we used 1 coat of that from Kiki London, and then we used a pearly white builder gel from Madame Glam, and before I cured it, I got a dotting tool and just like swirled it all together, cured all of that, and then we've used Perry Nice, Banana Ripple, Holiday Blues, and Pretty in Pink from Kiki London. Oh, and Coconut from Kiki London as well. Perfect Black from Madame Glam. And then we've done the boo, we've done the word boo on the thumb, and I actually ended up outlining it in white. I don't know whether I filmed that or not, but it's outlined in white. Super cute. We've done a little ghost, cute little ghost of rosy cheeks on the index finger, outlined in black with little army hands on there. Then on the middle finger we've done a bat with a cute little face and a pink skull. And then, like I said, the pumpkins on the ring finger, multicoloured basketballs maybe, I don't know, they're not the best. But I hadn't done nails for like I said, 2.5 weeks maybe. had to cancel orders and everything. So doing this took a little bit longer than probably it would have if I hadn't have taken that break. But I just wanted to get back into the swing of things and try and do as much as I possibly could on one design straight off the bat. Might have been a bad decision, I don't know, but I thought we would do some stamping as well. So I have grabbed, I think it was a MoU London plate. It probably was. I think it was the Fall in Love collection. I do have to apologise for this voiceover as well. It's probably all over the place, and I need to get back in the swing of things with that too, because I just don't feel like I'm flowing very well, but we will get there. So the stamping plate, it is a Fall in Love collection plate number 16, and I'm just going to use, it's actually a layered image that I'm using, but I'm using like the inner bit, and then I'll go ahead and just draw on the stalk after, like the twig. So that is going to go all over the pinky nail. I'm going to try and fit as much on as I possibly can all over that nail, and we're going to try and put some little bits on the thumb and the middle finger, so it's kind of like every other nail is going to have a little stamping leaf kind of pattern, but I kind of only want like the very tip of it. I don't want the full leafiness on all of them, so we're gonna try and get rid of some of the bits of the stamping image off of the jelly stamper before we then actually stamp it onto the nail. Do you know what I mean? I think I don't edit most of this bit, so you will get to see what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything at the minute. Look, I've disappeared somewhere. But yeah, using either the scraper to dab away the excess, or a lint roller, a bit of sellotape, anything sticky will work wonders, to be honest. Oh, I didn't say as well, the orders that I cancelled, I am going to do them for the people, the customers. I cancelled them, they got refunded, and I have said, like, I'm really sorry, I have taken ill, but I am going to do the order still, but free of charge when I'm better. So I'll probably be doing that on, I can't do it tomorrow or Wednesday because Ryan goes in for an operation on Wednesday, and my mum has hospital appointments all day tomorrow that I'm taking her to. So it might be Thursday, but I'm hoping to get a video done later today, ready for members on Tuesday. But there might be a few missing days where I won't be able to do a video. Like I said, hospital appointments for mum, and Ryan goes in for an operation where he's going to be off his feet for like a whole month. So I'm going to have to pick up the slack because Ryan does an awful lot for us. But it is what it is. He needs fixing. So we'll get that sorted. But there might be a few days where I'm going to test your patience again. I am really sorry, but there might not be any videos on certain days. But I am going to try very, very hard to make sure that my schedule is as complete as possible. If I have something to do, the girls are going to have to take over on housework and cooking and cleaning, you know, even though they're at college all day, every day. But they're going to have to pick up the slack a little bit so Mama can do her thing too. But I shouldn't have to ask them because they are really, really good girls, and they do me proud. They are very, very good girls. So yeah, hopefully we are on track and we don't have to miss anything. But if not, I have a reason, I have an excuse, and I do apologise in advance just in case. I'm going to do some little white dots over all of the nails, and I haven't put those little stalky bits on yet with the black paint. I didn't use the gel paint at all for any of this, any of the drawing. I thought I'll just use the gel polish and see how well we do. And the coconut from Kiki London, the white one, worked great, and Perfect Black worked great as a fine detailing thing too. So I'm just going to go ahead, do them, give them all a cure, and of course matte top coat them. They've got to be matte top coated. And they are done. Absolutely love them. They're so stinking cute. And obviously I hope you guys did too, and I hope you haven't left me because I've been gone for 2 weeks. Actually, we've had some new subscribers, which is really strange, for not putting out any videos in the last 2 weeks. I've actually gained new subscribers, so thank you very much. If you're new, I appreciate you. If you've been here for a long time, you know how much I appreciate you. You're amazing, and all your messages of support and love, it's just, honestly, it's humbled my heart. It's been so overwhelming and lovely. Everything I've used in today's video is going to be linked in the description box down below, along with discount codes as well for lots of other places too, not just for the stuff that we've used today. I really do hope you like this video. If you don't want me rambling, just mute it, just ignore me. But thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all on Thursday for a new video. Bye!